Hello, welcome in. Today is February 8th, 2024, International Women's Day. Celebrating women. Every day's our day, really, because without women, there wouldn't be any humanity. So, we should, right? Yeah, we're all that. Okay, today is day 58 of 100 days, 100 ways, trails taken. And our guidepost is still dreams. So, are your dreams, are they ever reoccurring? Nightmares? Night terrors? Premonitions? Lucid? Or other? Okay, so how about those dreams? Are they ever reoccurring? Nightmares? Night terrors? Premonitions, lucid, or other. So for myself, I've experienced reoccurring nightmares, night terrors. Oh, not night terrors, but I've had experience with somebody having a night terror, premonition, and lucid. And I can't remember when I wrote this what other was pertaining to. It's not coming to me right now. There's probably something. I'm pretty sure there must be something. Let's see. My reoccurring dreams. When I was younger, I used to have a couple of dreams actually, that were the same over and over. And they were scary. They weren't like friendly. They were pretty much the same exact dream. Same characters, both of them had to do with vehicles being taken away as a child in a vehicle. And both, it would always be the same thing. I would be in the same van looking out of the same back window, like the same thing. And the same with the other one. It had to do with a car also. So yeah, very interesting. They have a certain quality to them also. Like I find every one of these things has a different sort of quality when you're in it. Luckily, I don't have those reoccurring ones anymore. They were very troubling when I was younger. And nightmares, well, I could say probably most of us have had nightmares of some sort. I've had some extraordinarily scary ones, and situations where I had to take the lessons from it and implement it into my life, so that it made sense, and so that, well, I would never want to have to dream that again, and I never would want to have to dream that in, or live that in experience. So that's how I feel. Sometimes dreams can be like another way for us to experience life, the experience of life without actually having to go through the situation, because those situations are pretty traumatic. So yeah, I dealt with those, the outcomes of those things, and it freed me in a way. Well, it definitely freed me, but it freed me in a way that helped me be fearless, helped me have a deeper understanding of life itself. Night terrors. Not myself, but my daughter when she was younger. She'd had a fever. She'd been really sick. She was about 2.5. And she woke up crying, but her eyes were open, and she got up off the sofa and came over to me, but she wasn't cognizant. She was somewhere else. And I picked her up and sat her on my lap, and she looked me right in the eye with this distant look, like she wasn't looking at me, she was looking at somebody else, and she called me by a different name. And that was unnerving. And right after that, like, she called me a different name, and then she peed on my lap. And I was terrified. She was sleeping, so it didn't really mean much to her. She didn't remember afterwards either. But I was terrified. I called the ambulance because I didn't know, and she, like I said, she'd been unwell and had a fever. And they explained gently to me that they could come and, you know, do what they need to do, but they were pretty sure that that's exactly what was happening. And yeah, they put me at ease. We didn't have them come over because that might have been more traumatizing for her in the end, I think. But it all worked out fine, and she didn't remember any of it. I still remember it though. Premonitions, yes. For myself, it was about a plane near crash. And I was leaving on the plane the next morning. I had the dream early in the morning and, you know, got up and kind of got ready and was leaving in the early afternoon to fly. And they always say, you know, like when you get to an elevator and, you know, the people all look blank or they look dark or, you know, there's a bad vibe, don't get in. And it was kind of like that, except I was observing it, but I wasn't heeding it. I wasn't paying attention. Like I was paying attention that it was happening, but I wasn't taking in like the warning signs. So if I ever have those again, I'll definitely choose differently. I don't know, when you're at the gate already, you just decide that you don't want to get on the plane. It was very strange. All the people were lined up. You know, usually there's a lot of chatter at gates and things, but people were just quiet. And it was a very strange experience. Even when they're standing in the line, everybody was just not chatting, not looking around, just moving ahead like they were on a conveyor belt almost. And at that time, I should have noticed more. And we got on the plane, and again, it's like quiet. And usually when you get on a plane, everybody's talking and, you know, there's a little bit of excitement or whatever's happening. And it wasn't like that. It was totally, it was just quiet and subdued and a little weird, like a little strange. It felt strange. It felt almost like I was still in the dream, like it didn't feel real. So as we're flying, the incident that happened in my dream happened when we were getting close to landing. And the exact same thing happened. So the bumpiness, the dropping of the airplane, the screaming of the people, even like phrases or statements that people were making, like, "Can you see the ground?" And somebody said that. And of course I'd looked outside and it's like foggy. "No, you can't see the light. You can't see a light." Then somebody said, same as in my dream, "Can you see any lights?" Like, why is this happening? And people were starting to panic, and the airplane was very turbulent, and the flight attendants were hurriedly to their seats. The captain came over and said, you know, "Flight attendants, take your seats," like urgently. And they did. And yeah, it was super scary. It was super scary, more so that everything that was going on in the dream was actually happening right there and then. So I knew it was going to be okay, because it was okay in the dream in the end. But there was a couple other things. I can't remember them right now off the top of my head, but just the phrases that they were saying and the all the things. It was incredibly, it was super powerful, but so, scary, yes, but like just mind twisting. Like, how can this be happening? And I knew what they were going to say next. And, you know, people were screaming and crying, and yeah, it was very unnerving. By the time we landed, my son had come to pick me up. And usually if he did that, I would drive home. But this time I'm like, I can't drive. I was like shaking. I was almost hyperventilating. I was in a bad way. So if you have a dream and it feels like it's real, Especially if there's like something that's in alignment, like you're going to take a flight or whatever it might be. Yeah, pay attention. Like, even if it, it all works out, because it always all works out or we wouldn't be here. But just pay attention to those little things, because it's interesting how, we're here, we live in this body, we focus in this reality, and there are a couple things that are just like one click off that don't really make sense to this mind. So yeah, super interesting. And lucid dreams. Yes, I've had some lucid dreams. I had one that was absolutely terrifying. And yeah, if you follow along for the rest of the stepping stones, I'll speak more to that in the future. So I still can't remember what other might be. I'm thinking like astral travel, but that's more like an out-of-body experience. It's not really a dream per se. But I guess, those things kind of happen in dream time too. So so there you have it. Paying attention, we get lessons, we get to learn some things that we don't have to actually experience in this physical body, which is wonderful in my opinion. And if you've had like reoccurring dreams that are not just profound, but positive, really look into that, because that might be a little guidepost, like something saying, look over here. Have you tried this? What about this choice? Because if it leads to a good outcome, it might be something to consider. So I guess that is our end of our why, the beliefs. And tomorrow we get a new trail marker. Let me see. I should have looked before, but it's been a week. It's been a week and a half, all in 1 week. Oh, no, that's the end of that one. Oh, else. Folklore, fairy tale, and mythos. So something a little fun, a little different also. So we just keep on keeping on until we get to the end of the book, and then we'll probably take a little break. Then we'll do our bottom half of the pages, do a little trigger work. And from there, perhaps you'll join me again for the stepping stones, getting on to the actual programs, the actual routines and things where we can actually physically do things. And yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun and unique. So anyways, I'm done for the week. It's Friday evening and I am ready to just go and sit and, do some stuff on my phone, do a little bit of, housekeeping kind of work. And that'll be it for my Friday. I'll probably be in bed before you even see this. So anyways, until tomorrow, and every day and always, be well.